Back in Las Vegas, getting set for Mountain West semifinal number 2. The 3rd seed, Colorado State, going up against the Aggies of Utah State. Should be a good one next on CBS Sports Network. From Las Vegas, you're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Good to be back with you as we get set for a late one here in the Mountain West semifinal number 2 from the Thomas and Mack Center between Colorado State and Utah State. A short time ago, you saw San Diego State, the top seed, advance to the championship game tomorrow on CBS. We're about to find out who is going to join them. And hi again, everyone. With Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. Thank you for joining us for Mountain West basketball here on CBS Sports Network. And a lot of people around the country, Steve, are considering this a play-in game for the NCAA tournament. Do you agree?
I totally agree. I think the winner of this game is definitely in. Now, if Colorado State were to lose, there's a chance they still could be in. If Utah State were to lose, I think they're done because they have 2 quad 3 losses against UNLV and South Dakota State that are hurting them. No doubt in my mind, though, the winner of this game is going to be in the NCAA tournament.
Aggies coming off a quarterfinal win over UNLV, and what else is new? They like to go inside on offense.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and they're very good passes, and they have different ways of finding Nemish Keita in the lane, whether he's posting up or whether he's making a cut like he is here and finishing. And then for Colorado State, it comes down to David Roddy. This kid has played unbelievably. He's a sophomore, first-team All-League, different kind of player. 6'6", 255, really moves well, moves his feet, can post up. Not an awful three-point shooter, but that's not his game. His game is getting to the foul line and doing things around the basket.
2 teams right around the NCAA tournament bubble. Both would love to get a win tonight and move on to the championship game at the Mountain West tournament. Moments away from tip-off from Las Vegas, Colorado State, the 3 seed against the 2nd-seeded Utah State Aggies. A look at the starting lineups, and good news on the injury front. Both teams in good shape. Kendall Moore came down awkwardly on his ankle in the quarterfinal win over Fresno State last night. He's fine. And Brock Miller, who did not play the 2 games to end the regular season because of a back injury, he returned yesterday, and he feels okay. You see our starting lineups brought to you by Kubota. Niko Medved in his 3rd season as the Colorado State head coach, and he's got a long history with Craig Smith, the Utah State head coach. They spent 4 seasons together as assistants at Colorado State under Tim Miles. Colorado State comes in with an 18-5 record. Utah State 19-7. The Aggies have won back-to-back Mountain West tournament championships, and there is a lot of interest, as we documented, around the country in regards to the NCAA tournament bubble. The winner of this one is going to be in pretty good shape going in to the selection show on Sunday, and the loser will have to sweat a little bit.
And the thing about it is, whoever wins this game is not going to get a bad loss tomorrow, regardless of what they do. Obviously, if you get the automatic bid, that's even better, but you won't have a bad loss if San Diego State were to win this championship. So this is a huge game for both these teams. Like I said, a little bigger, maybe a little bit for Utah State, because Colorado State could still be in with a loss here, but they're not going to sleep real good tomorrow night.
You look at the Aggies' resume, and the one thing that's lacking is a good win away from home. Their good wins have come on their home floor. This would be a big one. Neutral court against a Colorado State team were underway.
And those 2 quad 3 losses are hanging over their heads a little bit too. And both these teams primarily man-to-man teams.
Marco Anthony had a great game yesterday in the quarters. His first shot is off the mark.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. He was terrific last night. He was involved either passing or scoring on a ton of plays in that game.
First career double-double for Anthony, 15 points, 13 rebounds. These two teams met twice during the regular season in Logan. They split the two-game series. Shot clock's at 2. Roddy puts it up. And the rebound to Raleigh Wooster. Utah State has won 5 straight games, including the win over UNLV yesterday. It was a slow start in that game, and that's been a bit of a problem for Utah State this year. They've had some sluggish first halves. Craig Smith called it a bit of a root canal yesterday in the first half. And a block by Bean.
Well, you saw in that other play down the end, Namish Keita trying to take it off the dribble, and down here, a good block. Justin Bean, who played well last night, made a bunch of like 8, 10-foot jump shots in that game.
Finished with 10 points, more. And there's Bean with the rebound.
One thing, scoring in the paint for Colorado State tonight going to be tough because Namish Keita, one of the best defenders in the country, 3 blocks a game.
Bean working on Thistlewood. Bean wins that matchup.
And that's what he did last night. Underrated 4-5, Matt. When you think about a great 4 and 5 combinations in the country, Justin Bean and Namish Keita, they should be up there.
Bean, second team All-Mountain West this year. Junior out of Moore, Oklahoma. There's Morris. Can't finish at the rim. May have been altered by Wooster.
Great
How
defense.
about Morris?
He's tough. He was really physical last night.
He did a great job defensively against Orlando Robinson of Fresno State, and he's going to have another tall task tonight against Keita. And we have our first foul. Our officials for this one, David Hall, Michael Irving, and Bob Staffen.
Good defense there by James Moore, trying to get over the top of Namish Keita, which is what he has to do. He can't just let him catch the ball. That was good defense there. And one thing you'll see from both these teams, they do a great job of reversing the ball, as you saw right there in the half court, and moving that defense around. You got to try and move Keita around as much as you can, because you let him stand under the basket, it's going to make life miserable for you at the rim.
Colorado State has started 0 for 5 from the floor after that latest miss by Moore. Keita bounces it down low. Bean from a tough angle, and that won't go.
Keita, one of the best passing big men you'll ever see, averages 2.5 assists a game. He's second on the team in assists. Good pass.
Stevens in the corner. And Colorado State still can't get one to go down. Miller. Yes.
And Utah State, not a team that runs a lot, but that was an opportunistic run and a good finish by Brock Miller. One thing, this Utah State is a very underrated defensive team.
Only give up 62 points per game. That's top 25 in the country as Roddy misses. He had a slow first half yesterday as well against Fresno State.
The problem right now, you can see it already, Andrew. They're getting nothing in the lane. These are all forced jump shots because tough to score in the paint with that big guy there.
How about that? Keita showing off the mid-range.
Yeah, I mean, he can shoot that 12, 14-foot shot. The problem for Colorado State is they got to figure out a way to get some points in the lane. Right now, taking a lot of contested jump shots.
Stevens, tough pass. Morris makes the catch and scores.
Well, Keita came out to hedge that screen there and didn't recover fast enough to Morris, and they ended up giving up a layup.
After missing their first 7 shots, the Rams are on the board. Keita, cross-court pass.
Great
Wooster
pass.
for 3.
Keita has such a good feel.
uses the screen.
You know, Roddy is primarily a guy who scores off the dribble, getting to the basket. I want to see if he's going to be able to do that in this game.
Out of bounds to the Aggies, and that takes us to our first timeout, and a good start for Utah State.
And a lot of it is because of that great defense they play. A little bit of transition to Brock Miller there. And Utah State, Keita knocking down the jumper. 6-2, Utah State.
We've seen some great numbers by virtue of the Shot Tracker app on an iPad Pro this week during games for real-time analytics like shot charts and points per possession to help optimize lineups and play calling. What'd you see from the games last night, Steve?
Well, one of the things that we saw is the more passes you make, the more points per possession you're going to get, which I've been talking about for years, because if you move the ball and move the defense around, you're going to get better shots. And in Colorado State, they set a lot of ball screens, dribble handoffs. When they do that, they do much better on points per possession as opposed to just going out on the perimeter and keeping the floor spread. Using screens is going to create problems for a defense. So a lot of good things seeing there.
Their ball movement in the second half against UNLV was very impressive last night. Good shot selection. They average close to 17 assists per game, which is top 25 in the country. And they're off to a good start tonight, an early 4-point lead on Colorado State. Alfonso Anderson, the Mountain West 6th man of the year, has checked in for Craig Smith in Utah State. Keita cuts, locates Miller. Air ball by Brock Miller.
I mean, I don't even know how Keita knew Brock Miller was there, because he was kind of spun around, but he knows exactly where everybody is.
Tricky with Miller, and Craig Smith talked about this with us last week, or this week rather. You see Miller took one in the chin. Miller nursing a bad back, and they're worried about, with him on the bench, if that back will tighten as Wooster has to force one up, and that's a shot clock violation. And there, look at Brock Miller getting some support for that lower back injury that caused him to miss the final 2 games of the regular season. He did have 8 points last night against UNLV. But all of those points came after halftime.
Yeah, in the second half, he was very good. Let's keep an eye on this matchup with Deshaun Thomas, who came in the game for Moores. He had his best game of the season against Utah State.
A season high 15.
3 threes he made also.
And a foul is called, and that's going to go on Kendall Moore as Marco Anthony drew the contact. Anthony lost it, and the Rams could not save it. It was Isaiah Rivera who poked it loose, but the Rams could not control it. Stephen Ashworth has entered early, and you can't miss him with those bright green sneakers. Anderson gets it back and puts it in.
He's a great 6th man. He can make some threes. Not a great 3-point shooter, but he can knock those out. But inside, very, very tough.
There's John Tonje trying to work on Keita, and a foul is called. Keita does not agree. That's his first.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Tonje's very aggressive kid. Maybe got him a little bit on the head first, right there. Not much, though.
It'll send John Tonje to the free throw line for 2 shots. The sophomore from Omaha. Colorado State, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country.
Yes, sir.
And did it again.
You did it again.
79% on the year. Max Schulga checks in for Wooster. Wooster really filled up the box score last night. 14 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds for the freshman.
I think a big thing right now is how is Colorado State going to score in the half court? I think they got to try and get some transition going a little bit and try and beat the big guy down the floor.
Queta defended by Thomas. Thomas harassing defense. Queta able to get rid of it. Shot clock at 5. Out to Ashworth for 3. Thomas has the rebound. Queta's got to be careful. He almost picked up his second foul, and now David Hall, the referee, stops play to wipe up.
No, he called the flop.
Oh, I thought he stopped it because there's condensation underneath.
He gave the flop signal.
It was a flop.
Who was a flop on?
Yep.
Huh.
Okay. All right. 8-3. 12:45 to go first half. Stevens. Oh, explosive move, and he finishes. Isaiah Stevens.
I like this kid a lot. It's sophomore. Actually, this sophomore class of Nico Medved has been terrific.
Queta counted in 1.
You got to run the floor with this kid because he can really run. You got a 7-footer, long, athletic, that runs the floor. He slips off that screen. You know, that's the new move in college basketball, is that quick run out and don't screen, fake screen and slip to the basket. He does it well.
Queta's going to get a breather as Bean returns to the floor. Already 5 quick points for Neemias Queta, the junior from Portugal.
A little bit of full court pressure now. Now maybe they can attack that lane a little bit. Try and get something inside.
They're looking inside. They get it to Thomas. He goes to the hoop and he draws the foul.
Yeah, I mean, when the big guy's out of the game, that's what you have to attack these guys, is in the lane.
Deshaun Thomas, 2 points in the quarterfinal victory over Fresno State last night. Well, Paramount Plus is here. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, try it for free. One more for Thomas, sophomore from Durham, North Carolina. Attended Hillcrest Academy in Arizona, where his dad was the head coach. Bean is fouled by Thomas. And he will shoot 2 when we come back. 11:59 to go in the first half. Back and forth between the 2 and 3 seeds in the Mountain West tournament. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Tomorrow at 6 Eastern, we bring you the Conference USA Women's Championship game live from Frisco, Texas, as Rice takes on Middle Tennessee. And then CBS Sports Network brings you the 2021 Air Force Reserve CUSA Championship game as Western Kentucky battles North Texas. That's at 9 Eastern, with the winner going on to the NCAAB tournament. Here in Las Vegas, Utah State has an 11-7 lead over Colorado State. And Justin Bean is at the line to shoot 2. For We're being told the earlier flop warning was against Colorado State and Isaiah Rivera.
Yeah, they can't call it. They got to call the first one on a dead ball. Now, if it happens again, they can stop the play right away because it's going to be a free throw. But that one, they have to wait till the ball is dead.
Wooster's going to come back in, and Ashworth heads out. Two freshman guards, and they've done a good job for Craig Smith this year.
No, B, not this one.
They've used this pressure a lot more as the year has gone on.
Tonje drives right at Bean, and Tonje can't get it to go. Followed by Thomas. Yes. Deshaun Thomas.
Ironically, they're getting something inside when Nemish Kate is out of the game.
That was sarcastic, wasn't it? Anderson. Oh, Tonje got a hand on it.
I like the transition. I think that's important.
David Roddy at the scorer's table. He's going to come in at the next stoppage.
I said this last night. Colorado State runs their offense very fast. That's a good move.
And Stevens gets it to drop. Stevens had a team-high 16 in the quarterfinal victory last night.
It is in the second game Colorado State played against Utah State. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Almost a triple-double.
Deshaun Thomas is whistled for a foul, and that's his second. He's been playing well off the bench tonight. Yeah, that's a foul.
Let's see if Roddy can get going. Last night, same thing. He really, the first half, didn't do much, and then the second half.
He had a quiet 15 points, and then when Fresno State cut it to 1, Roddy scored the next 6 points. So he was there when they needed him. They want a little more from him, and you see some blood coming out of the nose of Bean. So he's got to come out, and Cater returns.
You know a guy's a good player when you say, I don't know what he didn't do much. 15 and 17,
I know. Miller time from the outside as Brock knocks it down.
That's what he does. He's a catch and shoot guy.
Roddy, right at Cater. Roddy wins that battle.
I mean, he's so good at putting the ball on the floor. I mean, for a big guy, he can handle, he's quick, he's got great footwork.
Anthony made a great move, but a little bit unlucky. That one did not drop in.
Look for Roddy to take Cato off the dribble. I don't know if Cato can guard him off the bounce from the foul line or top of the key.
From the corner, Tonje's three won't go. Long rebound out to P.J. Bird. And a foul called on Wooster. That's his second. Wooster's going to have to come out with those 2 fouls, and Max Shulga back on the floor. And Bean still getting worked on.
This Colorado State team makes a lot of passes in the half court. A lot. Good pass, good cut.
And a foul called as Bird was going up.
This is just a really good cut. Good eyes, good vision by Stevens.
Keep going, White. Keep going, White.
P.J. Bird provided a nice spark off the bench last night for the Rams. He had 8 points, made a couple of threes.
Yo, you hear that? You hear that?
Junior from Houston. He was All-State as a senior at Bush High School. Keita gets it back, and now Anthony will reset. Miller wastes no time, hits another!
That's not even touching net. He stepped into that one.
Second triple of the half for Brock Miller. Roddy around Keita again. That's going to be a fun matchup that's developing.
He caught it on the wing, and they isolated him off the dribble. Tough matchup for Keita. I like this Colorado State team when they play small. No Moores in the game, no Deshaun Thomas in the game. Roddy's their 5-man.
Miller, heat check there, wouldn't go, but an offensive rebound by Anthony, who had 6 offensive rebounds last night.
Yeah, he hasn't really been involved in this game much yet. Good pass.
Anderson, no. And then afterwards, Keita bumped into Thistlewood. The Colorado State bench wanted a call. Instead, they'll get a bucket from Stevens and a timeout by Craig Smith. Rams bringing some energy. They have evened this one up at 19.
Gotta love Isaiah Stevens taking it in the full court. They're on a run, Colorado State. Tie score.
Well, Anderson thought he got all ball, but instead a foul is called.
Tanjay's tough. He didn't play great last night, but he's had a really good year for this team.
That's the second foul on Alfonso Anderson. And Bean's going to come back in with some cotton dangling from his nose.
And Moores is going to be coming in for the shooter. I kind of like the small team.
Colorado State had lost 4 consecutive Mountain West tournament games before their victory last night. They've won the title once. That was way back in 2003. Ashworth for 3.
And he's had a great year shooting the ball, and he has not been able to buy one.
Yeah, he was 0 for 3 from deep last night. Moore. Oh, improvising for 2.
You know, I was just going to say Kendall Moore, who's been playing great, averaging 15 points his last 3 games, hasn't done anything, then he just does that.
It's a good thing you didn't say it.
I know.
Moore got a hand on that, and instead a foul is called.
It's one of those ones where I don't know how the officials saw that from where he was.
And that's the second foul on Kendall Moore.
Nico Medved doing the right thing, get him out of there. Probably for the rest of the half. Well, the way PJ Bird has played, he can get away for a little while. I mean, Kendall Moore's a good player. They ran that last night, the same thing.
So well done by the Aggies as Bean lays in 2.
Good pass.
And a block by Bean. Last touch by Colorado State. Tremendous defense by Justin Bean.
Well, take a look here. You're going to see a great block by Bean.
second team All Mountain West selection. Former walk-on, and deservedly so on scholarship. Anthony from the corner. And Roddy runs it out.
I think they got to get Kata some touches.
And Miller called for the foul. Not a good one out on the perimeter.
No, bad foul.
And that'll send Colorado State to the line for a 1-and-1.
The one thing you don't want to do with them is send them to the free throw line, one of the best in the nation.
Such a critical game, not only for the Mountain West tournament, trying to get onto the final, but for the NCAA tournament. Both these teams flirting around the bubble, whichever side you want to believe they're on. This would be a critical victory for whoever comes out on top. Miller doesn't hesitate. Well, that one not close. And Anthony somehow comes away with it. Wooster left alone, and he buries it.
Well, you see that all the time. The offensive rebound, everybody's scrambling. Guys all alone at the three-point line, and he makes it.
Neither team shooting well from deep. Utah State's 3 for 12, and the Rams are 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Roddy. Oh, Kata smacks it. Shot clock at 5. Bird takes a bump, puts up a shot, nowhere close.
I got to tell you, I really like the small team better for Colorado State. You saw Roddy that time. He was going on Justin Bean, but Kata was in a position to help instead of guarding him.
How about Stevens diving? He touched it last, but great hustle by Isaiah Stevens. Love that effort. This is what March is all about. Stevens laying out here in Vegas. Coming up on AT&T 5G at the half, Adam Zucker. He's got the coffee on. They're staying up late in New York for highlights from around the country, stats and analysis of our first half here in Vegas. All coming up on AT&T 5G at the half. According to our Cherry Palm, he's got San Diego State as a 9 seed, Colorado State an 11 seed. He's got him in, and he's got Boise State and Utah State part of his first 4 out.
Yeah, but he's got Colorado State in as one of the last 4 in.
Sure.
So could they lose this game and still get in? Maybe. Utah State can't lose this game and still get in. This is a huge game.
You think Utah State is out with a loss?
I think Utah State will be out with a loss because of they have 2 quad 3 losses. I think that really hurt them to UNLV and South Dakota State.
Well, Greg Smith's had a lot of success in the month of March since taking over as the Utah State head coach. He's 11-1, including a perfect 7-0 record at the Mountain West tournament.
But that was great defense by David Roddy that time. Here's the problem, Kata's helping now. He's going on Bean, and Kata's in a help position. Before, Kata was guarding Roddy. Couldn't help.
Stevens for 3. Yes! And that's the first 3 of the night for the Rams.
I tell you what, he is a really good player. And the thing I like about him the most is he's always under control. As fast as he is, he's a good player. This team is tough defensively too, Colorado State. There's a reason why they're having the kind of year they're having.
Kata spinning on Moores, won't go. Roddy with the rebound, 1 and done, go the Aggies.
And by the way, people forget because we didn't have a tournament, not they were going to be in it. They were 20-12 last year. Probably not an NCAA tournament team, but an NIT team last year.
They lost Nico Carvaccio. He was a big part of their 20 wins a season ago. Bird. 2 minutes to go, first half.
guy's tough when he starts backing you down. He's so strong. Wow.
Bean, that's pretty on the baseline.
That is a tough shot. He made a bunch of those yesterday, too, on the other side.
Tied at 28. Bean with 8 points here in the first half. And Niko Medved calls timeout with 1:35 to play. We're back, and you like what you saw with Roddy going at Keita.
Yeah, I like it when Roddy is the 5-man for Colorado State because Keita has to guard him. Keita has to guard him. Well, Keita does his most damage defensively. When he's the secondary defender, he helps. When he's the primary defender, it's all different because Roddy can use his body and the great ball handling that he has to get to the basket. That's why I like that lineup. And they are not back to it yet. Yes, they are. They're back to the small lineup now. They brought Tanjay in. This is the lineup that I like for Colorado State.
You know, with no fans in the building, you might be able to hear what you're saying.
He doesn't need my help. He's doing fine.
Roddy, not this time. And Keita clears.
And Keita did a good job that time, forcing him into a tougher shot.
Anthony will launch. And out of bounds, it'll stay with the Aggies. Utah State went 10-2 at home this season, and one of the 2 losses was to Colorado State. Bean quickly off the inbound. They have so much success off the inbound.
That same play, they got that last night twice.
Tanjay straightaway 3 won't go. Steve, for Colorado State, Adam Thistlewood yet to attempt a shot in the first half.
Yeah, he's one of their 3 best three-point shooters.
Roddy defending Keita. Keita over Roddy, no, a fight. Keita saves it to Bean. Shot clock turned off. Ashworth will shoot it.
Should have pulled
halfway
that out.
Down and out. Offensive board. Bean tried to feed Keita, and he scores. 5 seconds left in the first half. Stevens trying to get to the hoop, and it won't go. That's how the first half ends. How about that gritty possession by the Aggies at the other end of the floor?
Yeah, all over the offensive glass at them. I thought they should have pulled it out one of those times and gotten the last shot of the half, but it worked out fine.
Aggies up by 4 at the break. Coming up, we'll send you back to our New York studio where Adam Zucker and the gang are standing by for AT&T 5G at the half. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota.